Hey, what's up? How are you doing? This is Santosh Shetty here from Design Clans, and we are going to continue with our video series on ClickDesign tutorials and review. So, in the previous episode, you saw how the design dashboard looks like, and you are familiar with it right now. And in this episode, we are going to create two logos, or we are going to create logos, multiple logos, using two different methods. One is by using the logo templates that they have, and another one is building logo from scratch. So you're going to learn that in this video. Alright, so make sure you hit the subscribe button to get notified, and hit the bell notification icon to get notified on any free tutorials or reviews that I release in the future. Okay, once you're done with that, let's get to the dashboard. We are back in the ClickDesign dashboard. Now here, now we are going to create a logo. So there are three ways I can access the logo templates. One is by clicking over here. It will give me an option. Another one is I can click on view all and it will take me to the same place, which is templates. Or I can scroll down and check if there are any new logos over here which I like. Right? These are the ones which are they're frequently updated. Every time I log in and see, there will be different logos over here, which is pretty cool. So are the rest of the designs. Anyway, so I'm going to click on view all. It's going to take me to templates. Same thing. Okay, over here. If I scroll down, so I am looking for logos. I'm going to click on this. So these are the different logos that I have right now showing up as of now. So when you go click on templates, you might be looking at completely different thing. Okay. So I need to look at something that I might be interested in. Let's say I'm creating a logo for a health and wellness company. I'm going to call it as Power and Fitness. I'm going to call it as Power and Fitness, and that's going to be my logo. Okay, Power and Fitness. I've got to remember that. So when I hit view more, it's going to show me many more options. Now it's in the health. This is going to be around health industry. Now generally before creating a logo, I go through an entire process. There are a few things that you got to know before creating logos. If you do not know it, don't worry. There's a link that I'm going to drop below this video. It's going to take you to that video. It's an old video of mine where I talk about what you need to know before creating logo. It's very, very important. Okay, you can check that out. The link is in the description. After this module, go over there, check that out. So now, power and fitness, that is three words, and I'm not going to use A and D, I'm going to use the symbol, and so it's going to be two words. So I'm going to use something like this. If I like something, I can always click on this and it will go sit in my favorites over here. It's interesting. Okay, looks like I already clicked on it. Okay, so that's one way to do it. Just go through this design, take your own sweet time and see what you like and select it. Okay, so that is one option. Another one is you can also look for the category. So I am looking at something in health and fitness, right? I'm going to select that and search. So it's going to, okay, Power Fitness, interesting. So there are all these different logos over here. I like this one, so I'm going to see, or this, I think I'm going to select this, okay. Use template. I'm going to call this as Power and Fitness logo. Logo, continue. Okay, now I'm back in the design dashboard. So editing a template is very easy. It's already done, right? And if you like the logo, all you have to do is change the text. So when you click on it, it's going to show me all these different options over here. So the first option here is add text layer. So if I do this, it's going to add an additional text layer, which I do not want. We'll do that when we are creating logo from scratch. It says edit text, so I'm going to call this as Power. It says fitness. I'm going to Okay, that is fine. Power and fitness, right? So, and okay, so let's add and in between. So I'm going to add an additional layer and okay, I want to change to make this bold. Okay, great. Move this up, get it over here, in between, increase the size, maybe decrease it. Okay. So this here. Cool. So there you are. So that is one variation of the logo, which is looking good. So I'm going to keep it over here. This is how you create logo from a template. I can create multiple variations of this. I can copy the entire thing and paste it over here. Okay, and I can also change this up a little bit like that. Power, fitness. Okay, I can, oops, okay, zoom it like that. I'm so used to using control and scroll, right? So the browser is zooming in and zooming out. Okay, so this is another option. See, I can do the scaling by keeping the anchor in the middle. What I mean by that is, if I select the entire thing or any object, if I'm scaling it, you see this, when it scales, this is the anchor point when it is scaling over here. When I'm increasing the size or decreasing it, this is the anchor point. If I hold this and do it, then this is going to be the anchor point, right? So if I want to keep the anchor point in the center, I'll have to hold the Control and Alt key. And now when I do this, it's going to do this. I do it from anywhere, the anchor point will be in the center. Okay? Easiest thing to do. So let's do that. This is another variation of the logo, right? So two variations, looks good so far. And this is how you create a logo using template. Nothing much to do, just play around with text if you want to change the font, you can do that over here. We'll talk about all those things when we are creating logo from scratch, okay? For now, know that creating a logo from template is very easy. Just choose the template, open the design dashboard and just move it around. I'm going to change the color to this, copy, paste. Okay. Simple stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to save this. These are the two variations. So I'm going to save this one. Okay, you see this purple line that is telling me that I am in the center. Okay. This is the horizontal center and vertical center. Now I'm right in between the canvas. Okay, I'm going to save this. Okay, it is saved. So now we'll create a logo from scratch. So I'm going to click on exit over here. Okay, so we are back in the design dashboard. Now to create a logo, we'll have to click on, let's say, start from scratch. To do that, and it's going to show me all these different options. See, I can start from blank canvas, but if I do that, I may not get certain options which are there when I create logo, like especially downloading options. I tested it out earlier. When I use a blank canvas, I do not get a option for downloading the logo as an SVG, which is very, very important. Okay, SVG means scalable vector graphics. What that means is you can scale your logo to whatever size you want, and you can also reduce it to whatever size you want. Very, very useful when you are sharing your logo with anyone else. if you have outsourced your work, design work or your marketing work, anything, right? Or even if you're giving it to for a printing kind of a job, it's very useful. It's very important that you give them a SVG file so that they can use that SVG file wherever they want. They can scale it without disturbing the quality of the logo. Okay. If you don't give them an SVG file, if you give them a PNG or a JPEG, then what will happen is when they scale it, your logo will get pixelated, which you do not want, right? So now, don't use this option, blank canvas. We'll use this option itself. So we're going to call this as power and fitness logo. Okay, keep it like this. Put this as logos. Name of the business is power and fitness. Continue. Okay, so it's going to generate some logo and show me some options that I can select. This is just a starting point. I don't want to choose any template. I can if I want to. I can click on health and wellness and see if there is anything that I like, and I can create logo this way as well. So I'm not going to do that right now. I'll just randomly select something just for now. I'm going to delete it anyways. Okay, so now we are in this logo canvas. So I'm going to delete this. I don't want this. Okay. So once you're in the blank canvas, power and fitness, right? So I'm going to add a text. So when I click on text, these are all the different options which are there. The first option is add text layer. The second option is edit text. So I'm going to add a text layer like that, and I'm going to call it as power. Let me put it this way, power, like that. And I'm going to add another text layer, and I'm going to call this as fitness, another text layer, and I'm going to call this as end. Okay, so power and fitness. So these are the three words I'm going to work with. I also need a symbol, like element, a graphic element for it. We'll also get to that. Okay, so first is the text. So power, I want all of this in caps, so I have an option over here, should have an option of making everything caps. Okay, here it is. I can do this, all caps, and alignment will not make a difference because it's just one single word, right? So I'll keep it as it is over here. If I want to edit it, I can do it over here, which I'm not going to do right now. Color, I'm going to use a dark gray kind of a color, which is 30 30 30. Bold, I'm not going to touch that. Font family is going to be something which is bold. Power, right? So needs to be powerful. So I'm going to choose something which is, this looks interesting, so I'm going to keep this power. Good. Letter spacing, if I want to increase or decrease the letter space, I'm going to increase it maybe a little bit like that. Okay, power. Angle is if I want to rotate it, I'm not going to do that. Opacity is increase and decrease. Transparency, nothing to do there. Shadow, no. Gradient, no, I don't want to do that. So there are these layer options. Now layers are nothing but whenever you add elements to the canvas, right? The first element that you add here in this case was power. So this is my first layer and this was my second layer. So if I move this here, you will notice this is on top of this, right? So that is what it means in designing generally. We are creating layers, as in when we add elements, they are added on top of each other. And if I want to move this backward, right now it is here, all I have to do is click send backward and it will go back. Notice that? I can bring it front as well. Very useful when you're creating designs with multiple elements. Okay, all right. And that is the layer option. This is center horizontally. 1 minute. Okay, so center horizontally, it's aligning to the page. I can do the same over here. Center horizontally. If I do center vertically, it's going to come over here like that, which I don't want. I just want it to be over here. Keep this over here. Okay. So these are different text options, nothing much. Align to page, and then you can duplicate the text if you want that way. You can also do that by doing Ctrl C, Ctrl V, and you can flip it. Flip the text. You can flip it vertically, horizontally. You can lock it. Lock option is if you lock it, you won't be able to move the file. It's locked to the page. Useful when you're selecting multiple elements and you don't want a certain element to move. So you can do that, and it's not moving even if I select multiple elements. So this is how it works. Okay, doesn't move. So I can remove the lock and then it moves. This is group. Group is I can select multiple elements and click on group like that. And now when I select it, it's supposed to select all the three together, which I noticed even while testing it was not functioning. So definitely there is a problem here. This particular option is not working in ClickDesign. So I just need to inform ClickDesign on that, and I'm pretty sure they'll fix it. So it's a very, very important feature, grouping, because once it is grouped, right, you don't have to, once the logo is created, you don't want to move an element like that or like this. It has to move together. So you have to group it and then move it. Okay. So that option is not there right now. It is there. It is not functioning. I just need to fix that. Okay. So that is that. So those are the different options for text. Okay. I'm going to also change this to a different font. I'm going to make this bold. Do this 45, 45, 45. Enter. Keep it over here. Align this to the left. That. Get this over here. Okay, now here is a tip. When you're scaling any object, if you notice, if I click over here and if I drag it like this, it scales with respect to this as an anchor point. Okay, if I do this, then it is scaling with respect to this, and if I am doing this, then here is the anchor point. I don't want that to happen. I will use it depending on where the element is or the text is, but for now, if I want to scale, if I hold Ctrl and Alt key and if I scale, this anchor point will be in the center and it will scale this way. It's the same in a lot of design softwares. Okay, so this works here as well. And this one, I want to change this to a script. This font. So I'm going to change it right now to, I'm going to look for a script file. Okay, these are all different. This one is good. I'll use this. Looks cool, right? Power and fitness. I'll reduce this. I want to change the color to something else. Maybe red. Red looks good. Change it to red. Reduce the size. Move it over here. So this is one variation of the logo. Only text. Okay, I'm going to create. Usually I create 4-5 variations, like I said. Now I'm going to create another variation where I'm going to do Control V, Control C, Control V, and I'm going to create a variation where I'm going to add an element. Okay, so let's look for that. So we have shapes. I can look for a shape over here. Maybe see if there are any shapes around gym. No, this is not the right place. So shapes is square, circle and things like that. So I don't want that here. I'm going to look for icons. Okay, so there are 3D logos and all these different stuff. So let's look for something around fitness. Cool, right? So there are all these different icons that have come up which I can choose. So power and fitness, let me find something interesting over here. This is an interesting one. I'm going to keep it. Keep this, Control V, delete. Let's find another one. One more variation. Like that. Oops. Power and fitness. One more. Let's create another one. Increase the size. Move this over here like that. Or I can move it over here. Increase. Get this in. Doesn't look good. This is okay. Make it bold. Alright, another variation. Alright, so these are the different variations that we have created right now. Now, depending on who you created this logo to, just show them all these different logos and ask them which one they like. And once they like the logo, then you have to again create variations of the logo for darker background, lighter backgrounds, things like that. So this is for a darker background. Let's say I'm finalizing, I like this one. Okay, so I'm going to delete off. Let me know which logo you like among these. This is 1, this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. Okay, let me know in comments. So this is the logo I am finalizing. Alright, so I'm going to delete all of these. I'm going to use just this. Let's say I finalize this logo. I'm happy with this, so I'm going to create one variation like that. Okay, I don't want these extra space over here, so I want to reduce the width. I can resize it. It's 600. So I'm going to make it 500. Okay, this is fine. Make sure whenever you are scaling the logo within the canvas, there is space left. We call it breathing space. So make sure there is breathing space for the logo. Don't do things like this. Don't get it very close to the edge. Okay, leave some space. It's a good habit. All right. So this is done. I can change the color of this if I want. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to keep it like this. Now I'm going to export it. Okay. So one variation is going to be, this is 4.5. Change. Okay. So one variation is going to be for a lighter background, for white. This is white, right? So that is a variation. So I'm going to save it at 300 dpi, trim white space, and export. So it's going to download this logo with a transparent background, and I will be able to use this logo on anything which has a lighter background. Okay, I'm going to show it to you in a while. So that is done. See this? This is how it is. This is a dark background, right? So it's not clear, visible. So I don't need to do that. I'll leave this yellow. I just want this one. White, yeah, okay. And these two white. Change the background now. This is how it will look. So I'm going to download this, export, 300, trim space, PNG, done. So two variations, one for lighter background, one for darker background. Next is the most important part. I'm going to download it finally as a logo file. This is my proper logo file which I can share with people if they want to use my logo in any creatives or billboards and all that. This is the SVG format. Okay, so I'm going to export this as well, and I'm going to keep a copy of that with me for future use. I can use the SVG file in any design tool out there. It can be Canva, Illustrator, Photoshop, Corel Draw, any design tool, and work on the logo and edit the logo as well. Okay, that is why it's very, very important. Always download a copy of your SVG file. That is done. So that's about it. That is how you create logo from scratch. And if you want to show this logo to somebody else, make sure you present it nicely. How you do that is, let me save this first. Okay, how you're going to do that is, I'm going to click on start from scratch, blank canvas. Let's say display logo, continue. So this is my canvas. I'm going to add an image over here. Again, I have to show both the variations, right? So two images, okay? Select here. I have an image. Okay, see here. This is a great image. So I'm going to do this. Make sure it fits properly. Always scale image using edges, okay? Never do this. You're going to stretch it. Don't do that. Or this. It's a very bad habit. Don't do it, okay? Always scale it using edges like that. It's the right way to scale. I'm going to keep it this way over here. Scale it further like that. Just keep one person in the image. Okay, looks cool. So I'm going to add my logo over here. How I'm going to do that is, I'm going to click on my design. I have the logo. Click. There. But this is not what I want. It's added my entire design over here. I don't want the background, so I'm going to delete it. I'll add another image which I downloaded. This one, not this one. This one. Add it. There it is. Reduce the size like that. Keep it in the center. Cool, right? So I'm going to save this as a JPEG. Let me keep it at 96. Let's see what happens. Export. So that is one variation. Another variation is going to be for a lighter background. So I'm going to click on images again. This is another variation. Send backwards. I don't want this. See, the text is not visible. That is why you need different variations. I'm going to click on image, add darker background. This one. Another variation of the logo. Reduce the size. I can keep it here. I can keep it here. I'm going to do it over here like that. Cool. Done. Save or export. Export. And this is what I'm going to share on, you see this? This is how I'm going to share to the person I have created logo for, okay? This is how you should be doing it as well, okay? This is one. This is the second option. Okay, this is how you'll be presenting your logos, trying to get feedbacks and things like that. I hope you enjoyed this module and you got a lot of value out of it, and you know how to create logos using Clickdesigns now. Now the only bad side, I don't know, I wouldn't call it bad side. The only flaw that I noticed when I was creating creating logos through ClickDesign is that option for grouping, which is not there. This is something which is very important. It has to be done, and I'm pretty sure they're going to fix it. There must be some kind of a problem, and they should be able to fix it. I'm going to report this as well to ClickDesigns through the community, and let them know the group option is not functioning the way it is supposed to. And once it is fixed, I don't think there is any problem in creating designs. So you can use ClickDesigns for creating logos using templates and also from scratch. Okay, so if you got value out of this video, hit the like button and make sure you subscribe for more content like this on ClickDesigns in the future, and continue watching the tutorials and review on ClickDesigns. Okay, so that's about it. This is Santosh here. Have a wonderful day.